Good afternoon on a surprisingly chilly Wednesday afternoon here in Miami. It's 45 degrees. I'm still wearing sandals, but that's because I grew up on the Canadian border. So like and subscribe, hate, and comment, and this is a video a little bit about how the Iowa caucus works and why you could have mass confusion this year in the 2020 Iowa caucuses. So like and subscribe again, hate and comment. Now, what exactly is the Iowa caucus? Well, the day after the Super Bowl, Iowans will go into various caucus locations sometime at night. And basically, and this is my super awesome drawing, there's 33 people here. We'll meet and all the various candidates will have a representative there, or somebody will appoint themselves to be the representative, and they'll be like, I'm Bernie Sanders' person, and I want Bernie, and I'm a crazy socialist, and I want Warren, and I'm a normal person, and I want Biden, and I'm a different normal person, and I want Buttigieg, and I'm a really nice normal person, and I'm for Klobuchar, and I'm wacky as all hell, and I want Tulsi Gabbard. There may be one. They'll get together, and the Republicans actually do this too. This is a big fundraising activity for both parties. Republicans are pretty simple. They go through the whole process and then just vote. Democrats, however, they come together, and I promise there are 33 people here. They'll all go into corners, and as long as they get 15% of the vote, which in a 33-person caucus is 5, they are deemed viable. So we got Orange here with 12, Sienna with 5, Blue and Pink 1 and 2, they're not viable. Green's only got 4. That could be like Amy Klobuchar, that could be Mayor Pete. And then you've got 10 down here for the black. And then you think, oh, that's over. And they divide up delegates. Nope. So then they go to round 2. So the unviable candidates get lobbied by the viable candidates. And in fact, the viable candidates lobby the viable candidates. And in this case, and they still have to get 15%. So in this case, the orange, they had 12, and in this case, they got up to 13, but the cyan guys, they did a really good job of taking care of some of the black vote, and all of a sudden, cyan wins. And so then they tally up their numbers, and they don't actually vote for delegates to the national convention. They vote delegates to a state convention based on proportional representation, that magical 15%. They call up, I don't know, Des Moines City or whatever, and they go, hey, cyan's got... let me see. Cyan's got 13, and black's got 6, and orange got 12. What are our votes? So they may say, okay, cyan gets 2, black gets 1, orange gets 1. Proportional representation. We're winning by a lot. Means you didn't win by that much. So why does this matter? Well, you could have a precinct of 20 people, or 200 people, or 130 people. Let's say this is a like a city caucus area in a big Democratic area of the city. Let's say black gets about 140 votes, okay? And or they get about we'll say they get about 90 votes. And there's another part of the city where green, the person that wasn't viable, they get like 40 votes, okay? So, but cyan is just sort of lopping around. They get they get the 15% threshold here, they get a 15% threshold there, and then they win some of these small contests. So in total vote, let's say for these 3 precincts that are around town, right? Black came in first, light green came in second, cyan comes in third, and orange comes in fourth. But when they go to their state delegates, all of a sudden, orange, because they were not very good, but cyan, because they were able to qualify a little bit more, they all of a sudden get 6. And then as we keep going, they go to a state convention, and all of a sudden, even though cyan got about 30 fewer votes, all of a sudden they got more delegates going to their national convention. Now, in the past, nobody knew really about this number. Well, this number definitely, and really didn't know nothing about this number. All I cared about was this number. But now the Democratic Party has said, well, we're going to count raw votes. In fact, they're going to count the raw vote of the first vote and the raw vote of the second vote. So Do they not always match? Absolutely. Well, at least we think they don't. So back in 2008, there was a candidate by the name of Hillary Rodham Clinton. I don't know. I don't think she did much afterwards, but most people think that she came in first in the first raw vote. And then John Edwards, who was the Democratic vice presidential nominee in 2012 and was sort of Obama before Obama with the youth vote, probably won the raw second vote, but Obama chugged along and did very well in some of these small precincts, did very well in some of these small towns, even though he didn't necessarily do well, or did very well in college towns, but maybe not in like real farm towns, but was able to get like one delegate each time. And that's what gave him the nomination eventually, right? Because he wins Iowa, goes forward. Well, what's going to matter on election night? Is it possible that Bernie Sanders, who is, as of today, leading in the CNN poll nationwide, could he come in first in the raw vote? But because his followers are so hideous towards women that, let's say, they don't grab any Warren votes in some of those precincts where she doesn't come in first, all of a sudden Biden maybe wins the raw vote, and then maybe Pete Buttigieg wins the state delegate to delegate vote? Those are very possible scenarios. So what's going to matter more to the American people will be the fact that Bernie got the most votes in the first, or that Biden gets the most votes in second, or the delegates go to Buttigieg, or whatever your combination is. Could that keep around somebody like Amy Klobuchar, who maybe is averaging around 9% of the vote? Maybe they count the raw vote and say, hey, I got 9% of Iowa, and I'm going to a better spot in New Hampshire, even though delegate-wise, she could be a fit fat zero. What about Elizabeth Warren? Will one press person say, well, she did very well in the front raw vote? Maybe she comes in a close second in the raw vote, but there's whole areas where she can become viable. Is all a matter, does that give her a boost into New Hampshire? And what about like a whole lot of things, right? So before, we never had to worry about, we didn't worry about, we only worried about this, which created this. We didn't care about these two. But now we do? Maybe? I don't know. You tell me, Iowans, if you're out there, what's going to be more important to you? And more importantly, to those Super Tuesday votes. 40% of the Democratic electorate is going to be nominated, or, picking nominees in March. And do you care about the raw vote? And will all this mass confusion maybe help a billionaire candidate running for president? Whether he be Donald Trump or Michael Bloomberg? I don't know. You tell me. But that's the Iowa caucus, and that's confusion. So like and subscribe, hate, and comment. And if you want to see more videos, go up here. If you want to see my Super Bowl prediction, it's not there yet, but it'll be there. And then other videos, go here.